Shabbat shalom, peace and love, Shabbat shalom. We'll be reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 73 to 75, and moving into the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, and then lastly, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6. Bear with me as I try to get through this, Yah willing. The book of Psalms, chapter 73. Verse 1. Elohim is truly good to Yisrael, to those whose heart is clean. To those whose heart is clean. Verse 2. But as for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped. My feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped. Verse 3. For I was envious of the boasters, and I saw the peace of the wrongdoers. Envious of the boasters, when I saw the peace of the wrongdoers. Verse 4. For death has no pangs for them, and their strength is firm. Verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, and they are not plagued like other men. So pride, verse 6. So pride is their necklace. The garment of violence covers them. Verse 7. Their eyes bulge from fatness. Their heart overflows with imaginations. Verse 8, they mock and speak in the evil of oppression. They speak lawfully. They have set their mouth against heavens, and their tongue walks through the earth, saying, verse 10, therefore, this people return here, and waters of filled cup are drained by them. So this is like the peace for the wrong, people who are doing wrong. Like this is the comfort that they have in the world. I'm going to read it from the top again. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73. Starting at verse 4, starting at verse 3, it says, for I was envious of the boasters when I saw the peace of the wrongdoers. Verse 4, for death has no pangs for them, and their strength is firm. Their strength is firm. Verse 5. They are not in trouble. They are not in trouble as other men. They are not in trouble as other men. Sounds familiar? Verse 6. So pride is their necklace. So pride is their necklace. The garment of violence covers them. The garment of violence covers them. Sounds familiar? Verse 7. Their eyes bulge from fatness. Their eyes bulge from fatness. Their heart overflows with imaginations. Their heart overflows with imaginations. Verse 8. They mock and speak in the evil of oppression. They speak lawfully. They mock and speak in the evil of oppression. They speak lawfully. Verse 9. They have set their mouth against the heavens. They have set their mouth against the heavens. And their tongue walks through the earth, saying, verse 10, therefore his people return here. Therefore his people return here, and waters of a filled cup are drained by them. Verse 11, and they have said, how could El know? Like, how could God know? This is what they're saying. How could El know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? This is what they ask. This is what the scientists ask. This is what the mad scientists, this is what the government officials, the leaders of the world, this is what they ask in their arrogance. Is there knowledge in the Most High? Verse 12. See, these are the wrong and always at ease. They have amassed wealth. They have amassed wealth. Sounds familiar? Is this not what we have? Is this not how it's always been since the time of David? Since the time of the Psalms? Verse 13. Indeed, in vain have I cleansed my heart and washed my hands in innocence. Indeed, in vain have I cleansed my heart and washed my hands in innocence. Verse 14. For I am plagued all day long, and my reproof is every morning. I am plagued all day long, and my reproof is every morning. Verse 15. If I had said, let me speak this, if I have said, let me speak thus, see, I would have deceived. If I have said, let me speak thus, see, I would have deceived a generation of your children. I would have deceived a generation of your children. Ain't this the truth? Verse 16. Yet, yet, when I tried to understand this, it was labor to my eyes. It was labor to my eyes. When I tried to understand this, it was labor to my eyes. Verse 17, until I went into the set apart place of El. Then I perceived their end. It was this is where it was shown to them the end of those who were doing wrong, who does wrong. Verse 18, indeed, you set them in slippery places. You make them fall to ruins. Verse 19, how suddenly they are ruined, completely swept away through destruction. Completely swept away through destruction. Verse 20, Yahuwah, when you awake, you despise their image, as one does a dream after waking. As one does a dream after waking. Verse 21, for my heart was in a ferment, and I was pierced in my kidney. And I was pierced in my kidney. Verse 22, I was stupid and ignorant. I was like a beast toward you. I was stupid and ignorant. I was like a beast toward you. Verse 23, yet I am always with you. You took hold of my right hand. Verse 24, you led me by your counsel, and afterward received me unto esteem. Verse 25, whom do I have in the heavens? Whom do I have in the heavens? And I have desired no one beside you on earth. Verse 26, my flesh and my heart shall waste away, but Elohim is the rock of my heart and my portion forever. My flesh and my heart shall waste away, but my Elohim, meaning God, is the rock of my heart and my portion forever. Verse 27, for look, those who are far from you perish. You shall cut off all those who go whoring away from you. You shall cut off all those who go whoring away from you. Verse 28, but as for me, it is good to be near Elohim. I have made my refuge in the Master Yahuwah to declare all your works. I have made my refuge in the Master Yahuwah to declare all your works. Chapter 74, the book of Psalms, chapter 74, the book of Psalms, chapter 74, verse 1. O Elohim, why do you forever reject us? Why does your displeasure smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Verse 2. Remember your congregation you did purchase of old, the tribe of your inheritance you did redeem. This mountain, this Mount Zion, where you have dwelt. Verse 3. Lift up your steps to the endless ruins. The enemy has done all evil in the set apart place. Verse 4. Your adversaries have roared in the midst of your appointments. They have set up their own signs as signs. They have set up their own signs as signs. Sounds familiar? Verse 5. It seems as if one had lifted up axes among the thick trees. Verse 6. And now all its carved work they have broken down with axe and hammer. Verse 7. They have set fire to your set apart place. They have profaned the dwelling place of your name to the ground. Verse 8. They said in their hearts, let us suppress them altogether. They burnt all the appointment places of El in the land. Verse 9. We do not see our signs. There is no longer a prophet, nor any among us who knows how long. We do not see our signs. There is no longer a prophet, nor any among us who knows how long. Verse 10. O Elohim, how long would the adversary reproach? Would the enemy despise your name forever? How long will, O Elohim, how long would the adversary reproach? Would the enemy despise your name forever? Verse 11. Why do you hold back your hand, even your right hand, from the midst of your bosom? End it. Is this not what we asked? Most people ask today for the Most High to end it. Verse 12. For Elohim is my sovereign from old, from of old, working deliverance in the midst of the earth. Verse 13. You divided the sea by your might. You broke the heads of the sea serpents in the waters. Verse 14. You broke the heads of the Leviathan in pieces. You made him food for the people living in the wilderness. So we see that Leviathan is some form of sea creature. Verse 15, you did cleave open the fountain and the flood. You did dry up mighty rivers. Verse 16, the day is yours, the night is yours. The day is yours, the night is yours too. You have established the light in the sun. Verse 17, you have set all the borders of the earth. You have made summer and winter. Verse 18, remember this, the enemy has reproached Yahuwah, and a foolish people has despised your name. Verse 19, do not give the being of your turtle dove to the wild beast. Do not forget the life of your afflicted ones forever. Verse 20, look to the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are filled with haunts of violence. Look to the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are filled with haunts of violence. Verse 21, let not the crushed one return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise your name. Verse 22, arise, O Elohim, plead your own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproaches you daily. Verse 23, do not forget the voice of your enemy, the uproar of those rising up against you increases continually. Chapter 75, verse 1. The book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 1. We shall give thanks to you, O Elohim. We shall give thanks, and your name is near. Your wonders shall be declared. Verse 2. When I seize the appointed time, it is I who judge in uprightness. Verse 3. The earth and all its inhabitants are melted. It is I who set its columns firm. Verse 4, I said the boasters, do not boast. I said to the boasters, do not boast. And to the wrong, do not lift up the horn. Do not lift up your horn on high. You speak with a stiff neck. Verse 6, for exaltations are neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the wilderness. Verse 7, but Elohim is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another. He puts down one and exalts another. Verse 8, for a cup is in the hand of Yahuwah, and the wine shall foam. It is filled with a mixture, and he pours it out. All the wrong of the earth drink, draining it to the dregs. But I declare forever. I sing praises to the Elohim of Jacob. Verse 10, and all the horns of the wrong I cut off. The horns of the righteous are lifted up. That was the book of Psalms, chapter 73 to 75. We're going to get into the book of Proverbs, chapter 20. The book of Proverbs, chapter 20. The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 1. Wine is a scoffer, strong drink a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. So wine is a scoffer. Wine makes you make fun of others. Wine makes you mock others. Strong drink, meaning, the stronger drinks are a brawler. Strong drinks make you fight people. Strong drinks make you want to fight. Make most people want to fight. Some people want to fight. At least enough people want to fight. That's what strong drink makes you want to do. And whoever is led astray by it is not wise. And whoever is led astray by it is not wise. So if you're led astray by wine to make fun of people, you're not wise. If you're led astray by the strong drink to want to fight people, you're not wise. Verse 2, the dread of a sovereign is like the roaring of a lion. Whoever provokes him sins against his own life. Verse 3, for a man to cease from strife is esteemed, but every fool bursts out. So if for a man to cease from his anger, for a man to suppress his anger and his frustration and his emotions, for a man to discipline himself, that should be esteemed. He should be given glory for that. He should be given credit for that. But every fool burst out. Every fool burst out on their, on their emotions. Every fool burst out on their you know, their anger. Every fool burst out, you know, expressing their frustration. Verse 4, the lazy one does not plow after the autumn. The lazy one does not plow after the autumn. At harvest time, he acquires. I'm sorry, and at harvest time, he inquires. There is none. So lazy people who don't plow after the, autumn, they don't, they don't harvest anything. Verse 5, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. But a man of understanding draws it up. A man of understanding draws it up because it takes a person to understand for another who has wisdom and knowledge and advice to share it with them. A person who, has wisdom, not spiritual knowledge, wisdom and understanding is not going to share with someone who don't understand. They're not going to share it. They're not going to share that counsel with someone that's not going to share, understand the counsel that's given. Verse 6, most men proclaim each his own loving commitment, but who finds a trustworthy man? Most men proclaim each his own loving commitment, but who finds a trustworthy man? Verse 7, the righteous man walks in his integrity. The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. So when you walk in your integrity, your children are blessed after you. When you walk in your integrity, your children are blessed after you. Verse 8, a sovereign who sits on the throne of judgment is scattering all evil with his eyes. Verse 9, who says, I have cleansed my heart, I am purged of my sin? Who says, I have cleansed my heart, I am purged of my sin? Who can say that? Who can say that they have cleansed their heart and they are purged of their sin? Nobody can say that. It's like your heart is filthy. The heart of the flesh is filthy. The heart of the flesh is evil. The heart of the flesh is wicked, deceitful. So no one can say, I have cleansed my heart and I am purged of my sin. We can only rule over that flesh, rule over that heart, and rule over that sin. Suppress it. Verse 10, differing weights and differing measures, both of them are an abomination to Yahuwah. Differing weights and differing measures, both of them are an abomination to Yahuwah. An abomination. So when you shorten people on weight or volume, whether it's oil or herb, whatever you have on the market, when you're shortening people, that's an abomination to the Most High. I'm sure you won't go unpunished. Verse 11, even a child is known by his deeds, whether his work is clear and right. Even a child is known by his deeds, whether his work is clear and right. Verse 12, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, Yahuwah has made both of them. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Yahuwah has made both of them. Verse 13, do not love sleep, lest you become poor. Open your eyes, be satisfied with bread. Do not love sleep, lest you become poor. Open your eyes. Open your eyes and be satisfied with bread. Get up, get to work. Get up, get to work. Verse 14, evil, evil, cries the buyer. But when he has gone his way, then he boasts. Evil, evil, cries the buyer. But when he has gone his way, then he boasts. So, like, yeah, This is what people do today. They complain, you know, they complain to the person selling, this is wrong with this is wrong with the this is wrong, this is that's wrong, in order for the seller to drop the price. And once they, make the purchase, they go on their way, you know, bragging about what they bought. Verse 15, there is gold and multitude of rubies. There is gold and multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious vessel. The lips of knowledge are a precious vessel. There is gold and multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious vessel. Verse 16, take the garment of one who is guarantor for a stranger, and hold it as a pledge when it is for foreigners. Verse 17, bread gained by deceit might be sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is filled with gravel. Bread gained by deceit. Bread gained by deceit might be sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is filled with gravel. It's like, all money ain't good money, is what this is saying. All money ain't good money. Even though you purchase you with this, whether it's illegal money or stolen money, you purchase something with it, it's going to eventually, it's going to eventually rear its ugly head. Verse 18, by counsel plans are established. By counsel plans are established, and by wise guidance wage a battle. Verse 19, he who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. He who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. So if you have people around you who slander others, these are the same people revealing your secrets. These are the same people revealing your secrets. The same people that slandering people, and every time you have a conversation with them, they slandering other people. They're the same people revealing those secrets to the people that they're slandering around you. They're the same people revealing your secrets to the same people that they slander around you. He who goes about a slander reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with him who speaks smoothly with his lips. Therefore, do not associate with him who speaks smoothly with his lips. Don't associate with someone that's slandering others because they're telling your secret to the same people they're slandering. They're telling your secrets to them. Verse 20, whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp is put out in deep darkness. So keep that in mind. You cursing your mom and you cursing your father, expect your lamp to be put out in deep darkness. You cursing your parents, expect your lamp to be put out. However that lamp is to be put out. I don't I don't want my lamp to be put out. I don't think anyone want their lamp to be put out. However that means. That sounds like a slang for you know, unaliving somebody. That's what that sound. That sound like a bar. That sound like a bar. You know what I mean? You get your lamp put out by the Most High. I'm not trying to get my lamp put out, man. So I'm going to respect my parents, and I expect, I suggest us all to respect our parents, man, because we don't want our lamps put out. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we get our lamp put out. You know, and this is what it's saying. It says, "Whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp is put out in deep darkness." Yeah, don't get your lamp put out. Verse 21, an inheritance obtained with greed at the beginning is not blessed at the end. An inheritance obtained with greed at the beginning is not blessed at the end. So an inheritance obtained with greed, like if you waiting around for your parents to check out so you can get their inheritance because you're greedy for what that inheritance may bring you. This is not going to work out. It says an inheritance obtained with greed at the beginning is not blessed at the end. It's not blessed at the end. You're going to eventually squander that money. Verse 22, do not say I repay evil. Do not say I repay evil. For wait Yahuwah and he saves you. For it says, do not say I repay evil. Wait for Yahuwah, wait for Yahuwah, and he saves you. Do not say I repay evil, like you're gonna do something, you're gonna take matters in your own hand. No, don't say that. Wait for Yahuwah and he saves you. Verse 23. Differing weights are an abomination to Yahuwah, and a false scale is not good. A false scale is not good. Verse 24. The steps of a man are from Yahuwah. What does a man know about his own way? The steps of a man are from Yahuwah. What does a man know about his own way? What does a man know about his own way? Steps of a man is from Yah. He's going, man. I don't know how many times I've caught myself making plans, and the Most High, like the way those plans play out, or if they plan out, if they play out at all. I don't. Most of them plans that they never came to. They came to to tuition because it's the Most High who is in control of all of that. Verse 25, it is a snare for a man to say rashly, it is set apart, and only later to reconsider his vows. Verse 26, a wise sovereign winnows out the wrong and turns the will over them. A wise sovereign winnows out the wrong and turns the will over on them. Verse 27, the spirit of a man is the lamp of Yahuwah, searching all his inmost parts. The spirit of a man is the lamp of Yahuwah. The spirit of a man is the lamp of Yahuwah. So our spirit is the lamp of the Most High, searching all our in parts to make see what's what. See what makes us tick. See what moves the flesh. See what the flesh is up to. Verse 28, loving commitment and truth watch over the sovereign. Loving commitment and truth watch over the sovereign, and he should support his throne by loving commitment. Verse 29, the comeliness of young men is their strength. The comeliness of young men is their strength, and the splendor of old men is their gray hair. The comeliness of young men is their strength, and the splendor of old men is their gray hair. Verse 30, the blows that wound cleanse away evil. The blows that wound cleanse away evil and strokes the inner parts of the heart. That was the book of Proverbs. That was the book of Proverbs, chapter 20. We're going to get into the book of Ecclesiastes. We're going to get into the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 1. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is great among men. Verse 2, a man to whom Elohim has given riches and wealth and esteem, so that his being lacks none at all of what he desires. but Elohim does not permit him to eat of it, and a foreigner consumes it. This is futile, and it is an evil disease. Verse 3, if a man brings forth 100 children and lives many years, so that the days of his years are many, but his being is not satisfied with goodness, or indeed he has no burial place. I say that a premature birth is better than he. Verse 4, for it comes in futility and goes away in darkness, and in darkness its name is covered. Verse 5, even the sun it has not seen, it has more rest than that man. Verse 6, and though he lives 1,000 years twice over, yet he shall not see goodness. Do not all go to one place? Do not all go to one place? Verse 7, all the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not satisfied. Verse 8, for the advantage has the wise over the fool. I'm sorry, for what advantage? For what advantage does the wise have over the fool? What advantage does the poor have who knows how to walk before the living? Verse 9, what the eye see is better than what the desire goes after. What the eye see is better than what the desire goes after. That too is futile and feeding on wind. Verse 10, whatever shall be has already been named, and it is known that he is son of Adam, and he is unable to contend with him who is mightier than he. Verse 11, the more words, the more futility. What is the man? What is to man the advantage? The more words, the more futility. What is to man the advantage? Verse 12, for who knows what is good for man in life, all the days of his futile life, which he passes like a shadow? For who declares to man what shall be after him under the sun? Who? That completes chapter 7 of the book of Proverbs. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this live out and pick it up in the book of Leviticus, I believe. Yep, in the book of Leviticus. Peace, love, Shabbat shalom, peace and love.